Today, how our very imperfect brains tempt us to abandon winners too soon and hold on to losers too long. Hi, I'm Graeme Newell, and I use the latest brain science insights to show you how to make smarter money decisions. My speeches and webinars teach how to recognize the signs that an impulsive decision might be likely. Click subscribe and the bell below to see more of my videos. A friend of mine is an avid yoga enthusiast and was looking for a new instructor, so she bought a 3-session package at a local studio. But she went to the first class and unfortunately, she just hated it. Then she went on to share that she wasn't looking forward to the remaining 2 classes. When I asked her why she was still going, she said, "Well, I've paid for 3 classes, I've got to use them up." This is an example of something called the sunk cost fallacy, and it's a powerful driver of our financial choices. It's our tendency to needlessly continue a behavior because we've invested so much time, money, or effort into it. Ever go to an all-you-can-eat buffet, then get an upset stomach because you felt you needed to get your money's worth? Ever get halfway through a bad movie, then make yourself finish it? The hour you've already invested watching would be wasted if you didn't see it through to the end. And the sunk cost fallacy is everywhere in the world of business and finance, particularly in capital expenditures. A business goes through a grueling conversion to a new IT system, then it doesn't work. They'll spend a fortune fixing the terrible system and completely disrupt their workflow. Scrapping it and starting again would be the best and cheapest choice, but then all of that past work would be wasted. Why is the sunk cost fallacy so common? It's because the decision stops being about what's best and starts being about our ego. Whether it's just us or a whole team, when we've made bad choices, our dignity gets bruised. So when things start to go haywire, we put our denial skills into hyperdrive. We double down on our bad choice because admitting it's a boondoggle would damage our fragile self-esteem. Give a middle manager a high-stakes goal to achieve, and he'll do everything he can to hit that goal, even if he has to destroy the company to do it. Back in the 1960s, the UK and France teamed up to create a supersonic plane. Cost overruns quickly went through the roof, and early on it became clear the project would never turn a profit. But admitting such a huge political mistake was unthinkable for the politicians. The plane lost millions of dollars every year for the next 27 years. They just couldn't admit their blunder until the entire generation of politicians who made the mistake were completely gone. The Russians also developed their own version of the plane, but had the emotional maturity to admit their mistake, scrap the project early, and saved millions. So what's the secret to avoiding the sunk cost fallacy? The key is separating the evaluation process from the implementation process. When making any kind of high-stakes financial decision, it's vital to minimize the influence of egos heavily invested in the outcome. In the 90s, Apple CEO John Sculley had made huge losing bets, and Apple was quickly approaching bankruptcy. Steve Jobs took over as CEO and scrapped almost everything. Only an audacious outsider had the courage to tell the board their baby was ugly. Jobs radically retooled everything, and Apple went on to become the world's largest company. If you'd like to hear the fascinating story of how cognitive biases skew our judgment when we try to emulate big winners like Steve Jobs, just click on the info card right here to play that video. When making investing decisions, you can guard against the sunk cost bias by following the same process of separating evaluation from implementation. You just have to do it in your own head. You should mentally put distance between quant, analytical you, and trader in the trenches you. You'll make your most rational judgment before you get in the game. Every pick you make should have a determined upside and downside limit. When markets start their roller coaster ride, that's when cognitive bias will tempt you to make those impulsive decisions. You need to have your plan worked out ahead of time when your analytical brain is firmly in control. Right now, I'm working on another video about how cognitive biases tempt us to make bad financial choices. If you'd like to be alerted when that video is completed, just click on my face below to subscribe. And be sure to click that bell too. I've created tons more videos on how brain science can help you make smarter money choices. Click on this box to see the full playlist. I'm Graeme Newell, and that's Better Decisions Through Brain Science.